Thank you everyone for joining us today. We are doing our webinar Wednesday series, a workforce series. We did one a few weeks back with Rebecca Berry doing our Serve Success products. And we are happy to have Renee Hoge join us from the National Restaurant Association and the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute. She's a senior manager and senior management and partner development there. Today, we will be talking about elevating your workforce, the comprehensive hospitality training solutions that are available through our two national partners. So through our ServSafe partner, through our National Restaurant Association partner, and through our American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute partner. There's some various projects that we don't always talk about as much. We talk about ServSafe Manager and Food Handler and allergens, but these are some additional products that could really help with enhancing your training and enhancing your offerings to your employees. So I'm going to kick this off to Renee, but if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We will be monitoring that. And at the end, we will be doing a little Q&A too, where you can ask some more questions. And this deck will be available. I will make sure we send it out. And Renee, I'm kicking it over to you.
Fantastic. Well, hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name's Renee Hoge with the National Restaurant Association. And in spite of that title, just think of me as the AHLEI's quarterback, because that's basically what I am for all things ServSafe, Serve Success, as well as AHLEI. And much like National Food Safety Month theme that we're going to talk about in a little bit, today's presentation has a three-legged approach as well. As part of National Food Safety Month, our education and the programs, we're going to discuss things such as ServSafe. So we are going to touch on those food safety products you're aware of. And then ServSafe Workplace, along with AHLEI coursework. Both of those are things you might be less familiar with, but help support food safety and workforce development. Food safety is not just about preventing foodborne illness. It's about fostering an environment of trust and professionalism across every level of your business. And this is where that ServSafe portfolio and those AHLEI courses we're going to talk about can support your food safety and workforce development. Because whether you're a business owner or a manager of a team, understanding how to harness these resources can both enhance your operational success, but also strengthen your team. So there's a lot to take into consideration. ServSafe offers a comprehensive suite of products that make it easier to maintain food safety standards. And as Hope mentioned, you probably are familiar with many of these. ServSafe Manager is our flagship program. I like to refer to it as our mothership. It helps food service managers understand and implement food safety systems in their operations and covers everything from safe food handling to sanitation practices. The curriculum itself covers 10 areas of responsibility for your managerial staff, and it focuses on the prevention of foodborne illness through HACCP, time temperature control, and personal hygiene. And it's designed for managers to gain that essential knowledge they need to prevent foodborne illness. Now, Pennsylvania has adopted the 2022 Food Code, which requires one manager trained per shift. However, at the present time, that manager-trained employee doesn't need to be physically present during all hours of operation. That said, they do need to be accessible by phone. ServSafe Food Handler acknowledges that as a manager or an owner, it's important to ensure that your whole team is aware of the potential risks that are associated when people are working with food. This program ensures that your entire team is aligned with food safety, and it reviews 5 areas of basic food safety, geared for your frontline and hourly employees. Again, it just wants to make sure that everyone understands the basics of hygiene. So proper hand washing would be one of the techniques that are discussed. Safe food handling during meal prep would be another. And in Pennsylvania, food handler training is considered voluntary. And shifting over all the way to the right, and on another note here, 34% of people with food allergies have experienced serious reactions from food served in restaurants. Leading causes for this are miscommunication and something known as cross-contact, which are the direct result of poor or no allergen-specific training. So, in response, ServSafe has released two interactive online courses. Both are designed to ensure that operations and the entire staff have that critical information needed to both manage and mitigate risks and accommodate their guests with food allergies, such as avoiding cross contact, understanding labeling, and asking the right questions to prevent those allergic reactions in the first place by your server. That said, we also provide guidance on how to respond to emergencies should they actually occur. And there's two programs that came out of this, again, to make sure that your whole staff is trained. We have an updated 60-minute online course with ANSI accredited exam. And that one provides comprehensive training for your managers and your back of house staff. For that front of house staff and your hourly team, we've got a ServSafe Allergens Essential course, and that one's 30 minutes and offers basic food allergen training. In Pennsylvania, the 2022 food code does require allergens training, but that can be met via having your manager person certified with ServSafe Manager or using the allergens course and assessment that's the managerial level. However, rolling out these ServSafe Manager, food handler, and allergen training solutions not only aligns with a three-legged approach to food safety during National Food Safety Month, but it also reinforces your commitment to food safety all throughout the year. So now we're going to shift gears to National Food Safety Month, which was created in 1994 by the National Restaurant Association to heighten the awareness about the importance of food safety education, but also to give best practices. Each year, there's a new theme and free training resources that are created for restaurants in the industry, and it's all designed to help reinforce proper food safety practices and procedures. But it's also a great opportunity for businesses to refresh and enhance their food safety programs, providing that up-to-date training to their employees. Um, Given that foodborne illness still affects millions of people a year, staying ahead of education with preventative measures is critical. We're going to lean in on that one a little bit later, too. That's why this year's National Food Safety Month theme is the three-legged approach to preventing foodborne illness. And the focus is on understanding, managing, but most importantly, preventing foodborne illness outbreaks. And according to the CDC, more than half of all US foodborne outbreaks are associated with restaurants and other food service institutions. National food and health agencies have identified key restaurant practices that affect the transmission of pathogens, who are the leading cause for foodborne illness outbreaks. The bottom line is every food service employee has a responsibility, whether you're upper management to hourly staff or anybody in between for that matter, to ensure that safe dining experiences are happened by understanding what causes foodborne illnesses and how to prevent those outbreaks if they do happen. So to do this, National Food Safety Month is broken down into 6 weeks in 2024. As you can see, some of this information is already passed, but as I'll tell you shortly, you can still access it. So week 0, which kicked off in late August, focused on getting ready for National Food Safety Month. Again, it's more or less our official kickoff to the program. In week 1, in the center there, employees learn about foodborne illness pathogens that could spread and how ingesting that contaminated food can lead to illness. And in week 2, we explored how foodborne illness outbreaks happen by highlighting real-life outbreak scenarios that take you deeper into the science of outbreaks. Week 3 highlights outbreak prevention and the essential strategies you need to take to avoid them. And these were offered up by our food safety experts. And week 4 is all about outbreak response. So we're going to give you or provide blogs about investigation processes, how operation closing procedures should be, and to move forward after outbreak. But we also released last week an Always Ready guide, and that's for responsibly responding to outbreak events. And week 5, all the way to the right there, hones in on building a food safety culture. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation for National Food Safety Month, most of these programs have already been released to the public. But don't worry if you haven't received them yet. You can go to foodsafetyfocus.com, which is our association's free online resource hub. And that's managed by our Food Safety and Industry Relations Department. Now, the website's focus is on food safety 365 days a year, but it's also, again, where our National Food Safety Month resources are housed. So you're not just going to find 2024 content, you'll find prior years as well, including checklists, white papers, posters, emails, blogs, social media. We also do webinars as well. And again, all this content, as you can see at the top right there, can be found at foodsafetyfocus.com. And this is important because foodborne illnesses cost businesses billions of dollars annually. And it's not just in lost revenue, but we'll talk about that shortly. Reputational damage has its own cost. According to the CDC, 1 in 6 Americans get sick annually from eating foodborne, from getting sick from foodborne illness. Proper training can help mitigate the risks associated with foodborne pathogens, cross-contamination, and proper food handling. But you have to proactively train your staff. And participating in National Food Safety Month is one great way to do that. Not only to contribute to public health, but also to help you meet some regulatory information and requirements. And while people traditionally associate the ServSafe brand with food and alcohol safety training, which promotes an amazing culinary experience and a safe food environment, our association leadership actually recognized that the most important ingredient to the guest experience is actually our employees, not the food we serve. That's why we expanded beyond traditional food and alcohol safety training and created a new brand dubbed ServSafe Workplace. And it came out in 2018. Because while food safety is critical, so is a safe and inclusive workplace. And as turnover rates in the hospitality industry remain high, investing in workplace culture can lead to higher employee satisfaction, better retention, and overall improvement on team performance. And like ServSafe, where we have a 3-legged approach to our food safety with manager, food handler, and allergens, and our 3-legged approach to National Food Safety Month, we also have a 3-legged approach when it comes to workplace. And here it is. ServSafe Workplace consists of sexual harassment prevention, understanding unconscious bias, and de-escalation and active threat response. We call that one DAT because it's a mouthful. All these programs equip managers and employees alike with the information needed to both manage and mitigate risks, while also advancing a positive culture within the organization. So starting from left to right, ServSafe Sexual Harassment Prevention offers scenario-based instruction, focusing on the prevention and the impact of harassment that it has on the hospitality industry. The training itself emphasizes the responsibility that we all have to maintain a respectful and inclusive workplace. It addresses legal requirements, fosters a safer work environment, and educates staff on recognizing, preventing, and responding to harassment when it occurs on the job. Understanding unconscious bias is an interactive training program that addresses the harmful impacts that unconscious bias has on decision making. And that's not just in the business, that's interpersonal relationships as well. Training was developed in conjunction with the Multicultural Food Service and Hospitality Alliance, so MFHA. And it was designed to help employees and managers recognize their own biases to create a more inclusive and welcoming work environment. The reason these two programs came out first is because we are at the highest risk of liability of this happening with sexual harassment in 12 business sectors. 90% of women and 70% of men have reported being harassed in our hospitality industry. Compare that to only 69% of women and 61% of men in a traditional work setting. In bias, we are the 3rd highest sector having problems with bias issues. Now, there's a lot of reasons behind this, right? We work with a variety of different people from cultural backgrounds. It's a fast-paced environment, and there's the presence of alcohol. All these factors impact how people might react and maybe inhibitions they may or may not hold back. Now, DAT, de-escalation active threat, was just released in June. And with it, staff is introduced to the skills needed to maintain situational awareness for safety, to de-escalate those challenging situations before they become a problem, as well as to manage those situations which could lead to workplace violence. Because I'm sure you're all aware, there's a rising public awareness about all of these issues, especially how violence is happening on the job. As a matter of fact, New York just put through new legislation on it. But after offering these proactive solutions are not only help you mitigate risks, they could help reduce liability. And perhaps most importantly, improve workplace morale. Because a positive workplace culture also translates into higher employee retention, which right now our industry turnover rate is over 200%. It offers a more effective teamwork, and ultimately, because of that, a better customer experience. So by implementing ServSafe Workplace, businesses are not only protecting their employees, but also elevating their overall work environment. Okay, so this is the third leg of that stool that we're talking about using that National Food Safety Month vision. And AHLEI is the leading provider of hospitality and training certifications. So think of EI as the ServSafe for the hospitality industry. Coursework is designed to help employees at all levels advance their careers and focus on developing both soft skills and operational expertise. So I'm putting in terms of ServSafe, you've got your line level food handler version. Here you have that as well. As an industry, we talk about how individuals can start in the dish room or maybe even at the front desk and then move up to the boardroom. However, we've not done a great job of showing the path to career advancement. This chart, and I know there is a lot on it, maps out the pathway for individuals who want to advance their careers in our hospitality industry. Training's designed to accommodate everyone so that anyone, regardless of their background, can grow in their career. And as seen here, AHLEI offers study materials and exams for more than 20 professional certifications at every step of every hospitality career. And oh, by the way, it's also endorsed by the American Hotel and Lodging Association, the AHLA. AHLEI's comprehensive training programs equip hospitality staff with the skills necessary to effectively address guests' unique needs, navigate regulatory changes, as well as optimize profitability. And the certifications themselves provide recognition of professional knowledge as well as skill mastery. So whether it's that line level that you see at the bottom here, where an employee is mastering a new skill, or mid-tier where a supervisor or manager is learning to lead, it could also be a department head or an executive who's driving the business. We have online resources to provide defined career pathways to foster employee growth, no matter where an individual is on their professional journey. So PRLA asked me to touch base on 2 programs in general. I'm not going through all 20, I'll just give you that. And we're going to bookend 2 key ones, one for manager and managerial type content, and another for those entry-level professional certifications. So Certified Hospitality Manager is specifically designed to support hospitality managers focusing on areas of leadership, communication, conflict resolution, team management, and customer service. You know, those skills that are crucial for managers in today's competitive market. They help inspire and lead their teams to be more effective. Now, by offering this training, your management team, you're investing in their ability to lead successfully. You might also retain staff and ensure high operational excellence by training them. Who knows, you could also streamline operations while optimizing your efficiency and enhancing your team performance too, all while maintaining compliance with both food safety regulations as well as labor laws. So the Certified Hospitality Manager Learning Suite and exam are a comprehensive online training solution and certification. Again, it's geared for hospitality management, but it's ideal for aspiring managers, but even those new ones with 1 to 2 years in the position. The program's designed to teach your managers how to build successful teams, run those profitable establishments. Because many studies show that employers who've invested in their employee careers have much better retention than those that don't, because the staff feel valued and appreciated. And that's a big trigger. I know it is for me. Ideally, this program reduces turnover in 2 ways. There's a career path that your managers and aspiring managers can actually see to grow themselves. But as they do this, they can also learn how to be effective leaders to your property staff. So pictured here, and I'm going to take a breath in a sec, shows you the comprehensive content that's covered under the Hospitality Manager Learning Suite. So just take a second to take it in. We have these 5 core concepts. Now, these programs can be purchased lump sum, where you buy the whole learning suite, or for those of you that say, hey, you know what, we're really tight on recruiting and hiring, but I noticed that leadership might need a little bit of upskilling, or, our financial team might need a little bit of enhanced assistance. You can just buy the individual suite. So if you wanted to buy it lump sum, the cost of that is around $430. If you want to buy an individual suite, so a line down like hotel operations, it would be $75. Now, those learning suites prepare learners for the Certified Hospitality Manager exam. And that's a certification that can only be achieved once somebody's employed as a manager. That said, we decided to rethink that whole application process, because originally you couldn't even apply until you were officially a manager, but you had to sit for that exam. And we found that learners really would benefit more if they could sit for the exam before they were in the managerial position, because that study material was more fresh on their minds. So once individuals pass the exam, learners are given 3 years to actually hit that managerial position and finish their application. Now, I'm sure you all know, it doesn't matter if you're a restaurant or whether you're a hotel and lodging or anywhere in hospitality, it only takes one negative online review to hurt your business's reputation, especially for hotel and tourism destinations, though. So guest service gold opportunities and guest service gold tourism demonstrates how to provide that level of guest service that leaves a lasting impression on each of our guests. It inspires coworkers and also enhances job satisfaction. These are flexible training programs for entry-level staff that teach employees how to deliver exceptional customer service, whether you're working in a hotel, restaurant, or anywhere in hospitality, and also create memorable guest experiences through proactive service, empathy, and problem solving. And this matters because it's a really competitive hospitality industry. And service excellence is what sets our businesses apart. And Guest Service Gold helps employees take their customer skills to that next level, making guests feel valued and ensuring repeat business. And so here's where I'm going off script a bit, because for those of you that joined the conversation early on, you would have heard that yesterday I flew from Pennsylvania down to Tennessee to present at a conference down here. And when I checked into the Marriott in Chattanooga, I was greeted by Angela. So meet Angela. I have to tell you that she excelled in everything guest service related. First of all, my flight arrived early. So I was checking into this flight at 11, or checking into the room at 11 a.m. Check-in is technically not till 4. So I said, Angela, I know it's a fat chance that you're going to be able to get me in, but can you see if there's a room available? I'm not picky. And so she was hunting and pecking for about 5 minutes, and then she identified a room that she thought might be ready. And so she picked up her little walkie-talkie and called the housekeeping supervisor and said, hey, I see that room 1002 looks like it may have just been cleaned. Can you please go and verify? Because I have a guest that would like to check in early if it's available. Check right there. One feather in her cap for doing that. Now, to further propel her hospitality to me, I had boxes shipped down here for the conference that I'm speaking at tomorrow. And because I was bringing a carry-on and didn't want to drag them with me in a suitcase. That being said, she had them staged in a room right offside the front desk and was able to go and grab those for me. And I'm like, Angela, this is great, but I can't get into the boxes. Do you happen to have scissors? Absolutely, Miss Renee. Here's my scissors. You can take those and just bring them down when you're ready. Oh, by the way, she got me a bellman too to bring everything up. So an experience which could have had me sitting in a hotel lobby for about 6 hours without the use of scissors, saying, you know what, that might be a hazard or a threat. You might look a little bit like, I don't know if I could trust you with those, turned into this amazing guest experience. And oh, by the way, her manager, Lisa, I talked to her on Monday because when I knew the boxes were going to arrive before I did, I placed a call to the hotel and let them know that they'd be arriving and to please not throw them out because they wouldn't know my name, but to hold on to them. And again, they were here. So to finalize the experience, to just make it over the top, I asked Angela, hey, you know, I'm not from here. Do you have any recommended restaurants that you would recommend while I'm in town that I should dine at? And she's like, my favorite restaurant is Public House. So she gave me this card for a free dessert because she referred it. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to let me in 6 hours early. She didn't have to offer me her scissors or hold on to my boxes or get a bellman for me. But she did all of it with a smile and all of it within 10 minutes and all of it exceeded my expectations. Because of that level of service, I told her that, hey, actually her manager, because she doesn't know about this, give me a picture of this gal because I want to put her in my presentation today because I wanted to give a shout out because we're talking about how guest experience can either help you or hurt you. It could give you making a guest feel valued and repeating business, or it can end any future opportunities of them going to that establishment. And I have to tell you, I would come back here in a heartbeat. And I'd come back here in a heartbeat, not because the Marriott Hotel was as fantastic as it is, but because Angela works for it and I might have the opportunity to work with her again. Now, both Guest Service Gold Tourism Opportunities programs have the same learning objectives. So we do have the two, as you see top and bottom here, which have the same learning objectives, but the difference between them are the real hospitality and tourism videos that bring the content to life. Both programs are 2 hours, but with those golden opportunities, employees engage in interactive hotel scenarios versus Guest Service Gold Tourism that models a variety of different hospitality settings. So that could be a museum restaurant, a hotel ski lodge, an airport, or even at a wine tasting event. These programs help train individuals for their certified guest service professional exam. And that one is recognized as the worldwide highest acknowledged guest service excellence type of credential. So I know I threw a lot at you. Thank you for putting up with that. Consider using ServSafe and AHLEI training solutions to enhance your team skills, not only to just meet the standards by checking me in at 4 o'clock, but exceeding them by getting me in at 11. Beyond the individual, the entire organization benefits from a workforce that is more skilled, engaged, and equipped to meet customer expectation and safety needs. And perhaps I buried the lead here and hope I'm always infamous for doing that, so apologies. But one additional training perk is PRLA members receive a 20% discount on ServSafe training products purchased from ServSafe.com and a 15% on EI products. So thanks for attending today's session. And here's my contact info if you'd like to learn more information about any of these programs. And now I'd like to open it back up to you. Hope, did we get anything in the chat to see if there's any other questions?
I didn't see any questions. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat, or you can come off mute. There's a small enough group that we can ask the questions. One that I thought we could build on was that guest services gold. I
Mhm.
know that we talked about a lot of online training that's going on, but could this be used as an internal learning tool to help upskill? During staff meetings, it seems like it could be something valuable to use.
You know what? Great point, and thank you for calling that out, Hope. Actually, in addition to online, Guest Service Gold, both Opportunities and Tourism comes in print. Both programs are $60, so you can use either. If you want to do print for break room session conversations, or maybe explore before a shift, a section on talking about how we might improve one of these core areas, which I'll go back to. Maybe you want to talk about recovery, or hey, how do you inspire others? What makes you passionate about your job? That's one thing that Lisa, who is Angela's manager, told me this morning when I told her I was going to include her in this presentation, is that she's a gem because she loves being here, and it's contagious because we all want to be here when she's working. So this, to your point, Hope, that could be an amazing opportunity for people to incorporate, bite size information. Or maybe you just saw an individual who, I don't know, sassed out a person and said, you know what, I know, Miss Renee, that you're here at 11, but guess what? Check out or check in isn't until 4 p.m. So unfortunately, you're just going to have to wait. Well, if that message was delivered to me like that, it would have been a harder pill for me to swallow than just saying, I'm sorry, we don't have any rooms available until 4 o'clock. So that might be an opportunity for recovery, right? How do you turn around that situation with that employee that just told Renee, guess what? You're going to sit and spin for 6 hours and deal with it.
So when we were to kind of circle back to the beginning when we talked about those workplace products, I have a two-part question on that. So when you show them, are they offered with different focuses? And then to build on that, if anybody's interested in like previewing or taking a look at it, how would they be able to go
Oh,
about
those are
doing that?
two great questions too, Hope. So, to your point, Pennsylvania is not just a restaurant association, are you? You are a lodging association as well. So we recognize the fact that the training, while the content will be the same, just like Guest Service Gold, we also have a hospitality version of the training. So instead of showing all restaurant examples, you might see something at the front of the desk, or something that might be more of a back of house interaction with an employee, like with maid service. So we do offer both of those programs, a hospitality version and a restaurant industry version. Now that said, unlike Guest Service Gold, where you have print options, these programs are only available online. And I think there was a second question, and I can't remember what it was.
If they wanted to preview any of the
Oh,
courses,
okay.
just to see what was entailed, what the employee would be going through.
So why don't everybody connect with me? So why I affectionately refer to myself as the PRLA quarterback. I'm not technically your ServSafe point person. I'm Hope's. So that being said, I can get you to your specific sales rep so that they could then follow through with providing you a complimentary course so you can take it for a test drive.
So I wanted to I think you had it, but we have been focusing on National Food Safety Month, but where can they access those materials? Did you have the website in?
I did, but let's go back to it because you know what? If people didn't write it down, they should. You see it right here at the top upper right-hand corner, the www.foodsafetyfocus.com. And those programs are available 365 days a year. So again, while we kicked this off in September of 1994, food safety isn't a 1 month issue. It's just like, if you think about it, going on a diet, we'll use that as an example, right? If you just diet on Monday through Wednesday, but then you eat whatever you want the rest of the week, chances are you're not going to have a high success rate. when it comes to whatever your weight loss goals are, right? So if food safety is a goal for you, you can't just focus on it in September. So that's what food safety focus is all about. It's all about making sure that it's front of mind 365 days a year.
Um, I'm just seeing if we have any questions. If anybody has questions, please jump in. One last question I had in my head was, turnover and attracting and retaining has been a challenge for our industry. What products would you recommend for onboarding? What products do you think would be a good start or good onboarding courses to help get staff up to speed?
That's a great question. So let's go. I'm just going to keep flipping through this stack. I think it went, let's see. Here we go. So when it comes to onboarding, generally associate that with more of your line level employees. That's where we're seeing a lot of turnover. So you could focus in on products such as ServSafe Food Handler. You can hone in on, again, onboarding. You do want to have a good culture. So you could do sexual harassment prevention and any of these programs here. But even going back to allergens, we have an entry-level allergens course. It's a $12 course that provides allergens basics. So again, it talks about things such as, how to avoid cross contact, how to read labels and ask the right questions. So if your staff is new and not knowing what to do, providing those resources is great. And these are all kind of geared more towards the restaurant, right? But as we advance along here, again, whoops, back. These are also available in hospitality version. And shifting into AHLEI, if you look down here at that line level, that's where that guest service gold that we talked about sits. So you have these different options of training materials that are great for onboarding because they're really geared towards your new hires. And as you see up at the top, across a wide array of areas. So Angela just happened to be front desk. So that's how I encountered her. But as I was riding down the elevator, I ran into a maintenance guy that was fixing something on the floor above me. So he was really friendly too. So if my AC wasn't working, I would have been interacting with him. But that being said, there's entry level across all the different products to help with that onboarding process.
Great. And I just have one last question because I was looking at the ServSafe training that you had up there. Besides food safety training, is there anything else that is required in PA that we should be thinking of?
That's a great point. And I did not include it in here because, again, we're talking National Food Safety Month and we're talking about food safety and workplace solutions. But another solution that isn't present here that does have a benefit in Pennsylvania is ServSafe Alcohol. Because ServSafe Alcohol is a responsible alcohol service training program that might also mitigate risks, fees, fines, and legal action associated with alcohol service. And our program is ramp server seller approved. So you will have those mitigating benefits by utilizing our online training program in the state. So thanks for bringing that to my attention, Hope, because yeah, that's a gap that was missing off of this again, because I was kind of honing in on food safety.
Sure, not a gap, but just an addition for us to talk about.
Okay, we'll go with that. I like that better.
Well, I mean, I can't think of anything else. I was thinking one thing we don't have included in here is pricing, which obviously you can find the pricing on both websites. And we do have pricing sheets in our office. So if you wanted to get, the member pricing, you can reach out to myself or Andrea or Renee, and we can make sure that we get you quotes and pricing if you're looking to do any kind of this training with your staff. But Renee, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you make it home safe from the
Thank you.
hurricane.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Going to check
And thank
flights.
you everybody else for joining us today. We appreciate you taking some time out of your morning to listen to these products. We feel like it's really important to keep supporting these products and reiterating the benefits of how it could help your establishment and your individuals in your organization. With that being said, I think we're done today. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week and everybody stay safe.